Welcome back to Peacock TV. Spoilers. Today is a beautiful day to dive headfirst into the absolute madness currently unfolding in Salem. We are staring down the barrel of a devastating goodbye and a terrifying new beginning. The circle of life is about to take center stage in Salem, and I am not emotionally prepared for what is coming during the week of August 17th through the 21st. Let's be real for a second. The situation with Lexi Carver is a complete and utter tragedy, and the blame falls squarely on the shoulders of EJ DiMera. I personally believe EJ DiMera has crossed a line from which EJ DiMera can never ever return. EJ DiMera hid Lexi Carver in the damp, dark DiMera tunnels, the exact same tunnels that gave Lexi Carver the fatal illness years ago. That's crazy. EJ DiMera is a monster. I absolutely loathe EJ DiMera for playing God with the fragile life of Lexi Carver. Thank goodness Johnny DiMera had a massive crisis of conscience and tipped off Theo Carver. Watching Theo Carver and Chad DiMera storm those tunnels to rescue Lexi Carver was a masterclass in tension, but the medical damage was already done. Now, we are heading into a week where Lexi Carver is lying on a deathbed at Salem University Hospital. The doctors have officially confirmed that medical science can do nothing more for Lexi Carver. The medical staff is only trying to keep Lexi Carver comfortable during the final hours of Lexi Carver. Picture the scene. Abe Carver and Theo Carver are standing vigil at the bedside of Lexi Carver. The raw, unfiltered agony radiating from Abe Carver is going to completely shatter our television screens. Abe Carver already mourned Lexi Carver once. To force Abe Carver to watch Lexi Carver slowly fade away a second time is just exceptionally cruel. If we look back at the legacy of Abe Carver and Lexi Carver, this couple survived the ultimate test. Abe Carver and Lexi Carver survived the twisted mind games of Stefano DiMera, terrifying kidnappings, and massive betrayal. Lexi Carver was the epic love of Abe Carver. The psychological toll this second death is taking on Abe Carver is profound. Abe Carver is completely blinded by grief, to the point where Abe Carver cannot even look at Paulina Price. Paulina Price is trying so hard to be supportive, but Paulina Price is locked out of the emotional fortress Abe Carver has built around the memory of Lexi Carver. But here's the kicker. While Lexi Carver is preparing to take a final breath in one wing of Salem University Hospital, absolute chaos is erupting in the maternity ward. Chanel Dupree DiMera goes into premature, high-risk labor. Chanel Dupree DiMera has been bravely battling breast cancer, refusing harsh chemotherapy treatments to protect the unborn child of Chanel Dupree DiMera and Johnny DiMera. Now, the moment of truth has arrived, and the delivery is incredibly complicated. Chanel Dupree DiMera is experiencing severe bleeding, and Johnny DiMera is standing inside the delivery room, completely paralyzed by sheer terror. I fiercely love Chanel Dupree DiMera. Chanel Dupree DiMera is a beautiful fighter, a resilient survivor, and an incredible businesswoman. To see Chanel Dupree DiMera reduced to a terrified patient fighting for survival is truly heartbreaking. Johnny DiMera is tightly holding the hand of Chanel Dupree DiMera, praying for a medical miracle. Johnny DiMera just betrayed EJ DiMera to save Lexi Carver, and now Johnny DiMera is facing the potential loss of Chanel Dupree DiMera. The karmic balance in the universe of Johnny DiMera is completely out of whack right now. Now, it is time for the hot take section. Peacock TV spoilers. We've been tracking this for weeks, and I have a highly controversial opinion that is going to spark a massive debate in the comments. I personally believe the writers are setting up a surreal, supernatural masterpiece. I believe that at the exact millisecond Lexi Carver flatlines and passes away, Chanel Dupree DiMera will give birth. But the storyline goes much deeper than a simple cinematic parallel. I firmly believe the soul of Lexi Carver is going to reincarnate directly into the newborn baby of Chanel, Dupree DiMera, and Johnny DiMera. Can you believe it? A full-blown soul transfer. Before you call the theory crazy, let us look at the internal logic and legacy storylines of Salem. This is the exact same town where Marlena Evans was possessed by the devil twice. This is the town where Dr. Wilhelm Rolf brings deceased people back from the dead with glowing green serum. We have seen Stefano DiMera implant microchips into the brains of innocent victims to alter personalities. A supernatural reincarnation is completely within the realm of possibility for Days of Our Lives. In fact, a soul transfer is the perfect poetic way to handle this incredibly tragic experience. Imagine the sheer cinematic beauty of this sequence. The camera frantically cuts back and forth between the two hospital rooms. Abe Carver is sobbing uncontrollably as the heart monitor of Lexi Carver emits a long, continuous beat. The light fades from the eyes of Lexi Carver. Then, smash cut to the delivery room. Chanel Dupree DiMera gives one final agonizing push. Johnny DiMera gasps in shock. The heavy silence of the room is pierced by the loud, echoing cry of a newborn baby. The soul of Lexi Carver leaves the physical body of Lexi Carver and instantly breathes life into the child of Chanel Dupree DiMera. Amazing! This predictive lore perfectly aligns with the themes of rebirth and family legacy that Days of Our Lives loves to explore. Think about the profound impact this reincarnation will have on Abe Carver. Abe Carver will be completely lost in the darkness of grief. But the moment Abe Carver holds the baby of Chanel Dupree DiMera, Abe Carver is going to feel an unexplainable cosmic connection. Abe Carver will look into the eyes of that infant and see the exact same spark that Lexi Carver possessed. This baby will become the ultimate salvation for the shattered soul of Abe Carver. And you won't believe what happens next regarding the fractured marriage of Abe Carver and Paulina Price. Paulina Price is currently feeling entirely isolated from Abe Carver. But this baby is the biological grandchild of Paulina Price. When Abe Carver feels spiritually drawn to the child of Chanel Dupree DiMera, the connection will naturally pull Abe Carver back into the orbit of Paulina Price. The reincarnated soul of Lexi Carver will literally serve as the bridge that reunites Abe Carver and Paulina Price. That is just brilliant, deeply emotional storytelling that honors the history of the characters. Let us also examine the psychological torture this reincarnation will inflict upon EJ DiMera. EJ DiMera desperately tried to control the fate of Lexi Carver. EJ DiMera treated Lexi Carver like a disposable science experiment. But if the soul of Lexi Carver reincarnates into the child of Johnny DiMera, that means Lexi Carver will forever live on as the biological grandchild of EJ DiMera. EJ DiMera will have to look at that child every single day, knowing that the spirit of Lexi Carver has infiltrated the DiMera bloodline. It is the ultimate cosmic revenge against the extreme arrogance of EJ DiMera. And you won't believe what happens next regarding how this supernatural twist will affect Theo Carver. Theo Carver is currently devastated and seeking comfort from Stephanie Kyriakis. The dynamic between Theo Carver and Stephanie Kyriakis screams potential trouble. But if Theo Carver senses the soul of Lexi Carver inside the baby of Chanel Dupree DiMera, Theo Carver will find a healthy outlet for the grief of Theo Carver. Theo Carver will focus on protecting the child of Johnny DiMera instead of falling into a messy, grief-fueled entanglement with Stephanie Kyriakis. This surreal, supernatural twist would elevate the current storyline from a depressing medical tragedy into a beautiful mythical tale of eternal love and rebirth. Chanel Dupree DiMera and Johnny DiMera deserve a miracle after all the suffering Chanel Dupree DiMera has endured. Lexi Carver deserves to escape the cruel grasp of the DiMera tunnels and find a pure, innocent vessel. The circle of life is never just a simple biological process in Salem. The circle of life is a magical, destiny-driven event that binds families together across generations in the most unexpected ways. As the week of August 17th approaches, we must prepare ourselves for the ultimate emotional roller coaster. The tears of Abe Carver and Theo Carver will break our hearts, but the cries of the newborn baby of Chanel Dupree DiMera will patch our hearts right back up. I cannot wait to see how Johnny DiMera handles this overwhelming surge of tragedy and joy simultaneously. Will Johnny DiMera sense the presence of Lexi Carver in the newborn? Will Theo Carver feel a strange comfort when Theo Carver holds the baby of Chanel Dupree DiMera? The potential for deeply moving, character-centric drama is absolutely limitless. So, what do the fans think about this massive reincarnation theory? Do the viewers believe the writers are brave enough to pull off a supernatural soul transfer between Lexi Carver and the baby of Chanel Dupree DiMera? Or do the viewers think EJ DiMera will find some other sinister way to ruin the happiness of Johnny DiMera and Chanel Dupree DiMera? Drop the wildest theories in the comment section below, because the community needs to debate every single detail. And if the audience loves diving deep into the psychology of Salem, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Peacock TV Spoilers is the absolute best source for the truth, and the channel will see the viewers in the next video.